Ready to rock.
Good to go.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Team Powerhouse Show, live with you every Tuesday night. Eric Vasquez in your far right, David Lamel here. It is a Team Powerhouse Show. It is August 6th.
We got Thane behind the camera.
Thane behind the camera. We haven't actually mentioned about Thane behind the camera. Thane behind the camera, killing it, making us look as good as he can, given the circumstances over here.
Thank you, Thane.
Thank you, Thane. Every Tuesday night, it is a time for us to get together with you. Sorry for being a few minutes late. We were doing some preparations for the show today. And Eric, by the way, you look great in blue. This is a great color on you, buddy. This powder
Matches
blue.
my mood.
It is pretty.
Yeah, I'm
pretty
gonna wear
nice.
it next week, just because.
It's a great color, man. I like it. So let's talk about what's going on in the hottest real estate market over here. If you've been watching, you've been sitting on the sidelines, if you've been involved, you know that this market is on fire. It is hot. It is hot summer, hot heat, and it's hot in the summer. Hot in the summer. I wish I had this song playing in the background. In the summer tonight. I don't know what to say.
Copyright.
It's copyright. I can't sing to begin with, as you probably can see, and my family will vouch for that. Who are probably this evening, I think right now, out for pizza or on the way there. Speaking of my family, I want to thank you so much for my sister, my brother-in-law, allowing us to bring in our very special niece, Braden Gross. She is here with us in Connecticut. Flew in yesterday. She's going to spend some time with us. I know the flights just flickered.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to spend some time with us till Saturday. We're super excited to have her. Really appreciate her being with us to help take care of Drew because we have a lot of work to do this week. And we're pretty jammed up, and she's here to take care of our princess Drew. And Daniel, who was supposed to fly out last night, unfortunately couldn't make it, but fortunately for us, because they canceled the flight due to the funkiness going on down in Florida the last couple of days with the weather and the rain and the tornado. Hurricane. Is it a hurricane?
Hurricane.
I heard, by the way, they were supposed to have between 30 and 40 inches of rain between Georgia and the Carolinas. That's pretty nuts. That's a lot of rain. That's a lot of rain. So we are glad that Danny's here still. He flies back on Wednesday night. I'm going to miss him very much. And I'll kind of leave that alone because otherwise I'll get very emotional. And it's very hard for me to have him go back to Florida, although I'm very happy for him because he loves being down there. But yeah, my wife and family right now are at, I think, Sally's Pizza as we speak in New Haven, enjoying a little, abits, as they say here in Connecticut and New Haven, abits. So, and if you've never been to Sally's, which is a pretty tasty little pie, it's worth checking out, amongst other great pizza joints in Connecticut, because Connecticut as a whole has phenomenal pizza. We're going to talk a lot about the real estate market today and what's been happening over the last few years as you've seen it happen. Maybe you've been through it yourself. And if anybody's out there live and wants to say hello, please be happy to do a shout out over here. Love to speak with you guys. And who we got there?
Hey, Danny.
Brad Wiseman, happy birthday! One of my dearest, closest friends who I love, and our family loves him and his family, just celebrated his birthday. He was away, I believe, in the U.S. Virgin Islands, enjoying himself with gorgeous pictures of himself and his family. Happy birthday, brother. I love and miss you guys. Hope you're doing amazing. And I always say this because it's been so long since we've seen each other. I hope to see you very soon. So thank you guys for being a part of this show. We got some statistics to talk about with this hot...
Statistics and news.
Statistics and news.
News.
Hit us up, Mr. Eric Vasquez.
News. Mortgage and refinance rates today, August 6, 2024. The 30-year rate finally drops below 6%.
What does that mean to you, below 6%? That means giddy up, baby, because it's time to get a house.
All those folks who were sitting on the sidelines because the rates were too high at 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, almost 8.
Yeah.
Or 8 over.
Yeah.
5.92.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
5.92?
5.92 in the 15-year fixed rate also fell 14 basis points to 5.21.
Holy shnikes. You know, I gotta
I
ask.
don't know where you were going with that.
I mean, that was pretty nuts, though. I mean, listen, my buddy Brad, if he's still watching and listening, the market in Pennsylvania, he talks about the county where he lives in. I think they broke 400 homes in the county, which is a first or hasn't happened in some time. We're going to talk about what's going on in the real estate market across the country and maybe in London, Connecticut as well, Eric. Is that fair to say that? Because we have been seeing a downside of inventory over a long period of time. You know, before this pandemic, what kind of back in, let's say, 2019, Eric, 2020, like how many homes did we have for sale before all this craziness happened? I mean, the average amount of homes that were for sale in the state of Connecticut, somewhere in the ballpark of 20,000+ homes. Am I right? Am I wrong? What's going on? What do you see here?
So in February of 2020,
Yes.
February, March, April 2020, do you remember what happened around then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
So around that time, on average, for February, March, and April of 2020, there were 11,000 homes.
11,000
Over
homes.
11,000 homes for sale.
Okay. Over 11,000 homes, and there's even more than that for sale, I would say to you a little farther back.
Well, that's down from July and August of 2019, that was 17,000.
There you go. So that was more of
So-
an we average about 15 to 20 in that ballpark of homes for sale in the state of Connecticut.
Yeah, there was a significant dip at the end of 2019,
Yep.
and then 2020, and then there's just some.
So 19 to 20,
undulations
20 to
there.
21. How did you see those population of homes available for sale?
What was the question?
How many homes were for sale? Let's go 18, 19, 20, and how did it change from there? Can you go farther?
2018?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the beginning of 2018,
Yes.
14,000 homes were on the market. August of 2018, 19,000 homes were on the market.
That's right.
Okay.
We had a tremendous surplus of homes in Connecticut.
And then in July of 2019, 17,000, and then there's a
Pause.
there's a significant dip. Yeah.
Market shuts down, all homes are off the market. Then what happens? Market opens back up after a few months of us being in a torture situation, no income, chaos, the world is falling down,
But
apart.
it just continues to drop
So where'd you see that?
until March of 2021, when it hits 4,831 houses.
Now, 4,831 homes. I wanted to let you know something. That includes, in that number, rentals, multifamilies, which make up about 10 to 15% of the total homes there. So realistically,
Currently it does.
currently it does, which it
Currently.
and
With
bef-
the number of houses for sale in all of Connecticut, 10% of them are multifamilies.
so you're really looking in the ballpark of a more in the 3,000 high threes ballpark for homes for sale. In a whole state of Connecticut, to have roughly 3,000 and change homes for sale for the last 18 months. Am I right? Right?
Yeah.
Where we looking at numbers, how do they kind of
So just to give you some perspective,
real perspective? This is coming directly from Fred?
This is from Fred. So this is the
everybody with
Federal
Fred.
Reserve economic data,
Okay, so you can look this up.
and this is specifically the state of Connecticut. So you remember in February, we were talking about January, February, and March, we were talking really how bad the inventory was.
I was telling people, just to the record, when I would talk about how bad things were, because the news was 6 months behind. So now I would tell people the market is completely isolated from homes. And people are like, nah, we hear things are pretty good. Things are pretty good. We were decimated. Go ahead.
So in March in 2021, I said
Yes.
there's 4,800 houses on the market, right?
Yes.
In March of 2022, it was 3,400. So it's
Again.
1,000 less.
Hold on. And again, just understand that 10% of that are multis and rentals, okay? So you're really in the 2,800 homes on the market in a whole state. Unless you're buying a multifamily. That makes about 10%. Go ahead.
So normally you see an uptick with the spring market, kind of April, May, June, July.
Right.
So in 2022, it goes from, so in February it was 3,300 houses, okay? In July it was 5,900. So it's a stark increase,
Yep.
okay?
Inventory.
So if you could see the chart, it goes up,
Yep.
kind of flattens out a little bit, and then October starts to come down, November, December, January,
20
colder.
and 22.
Yeah. In 23.
23.
In 23.
For the last 18 months, we've been dying for inventory.
So since February and March of 2023, it has only gone over 4,000 houses for 3 months. And then
again, I keep repeating.
in February of 2024, this year, there were 3,071 homes.
That means there are about 28 or 2,600 homes for sale. Again, taking that 10% of homes between rentals and multifamilies, that is what we're talking about. It has been bananas. And if Brad out in Pennsylvania, in Sinking Springs, Pennsylvania, can share with us what he has for the inventory in his county, I think they just broke 400 in a county. You know, in a county typically has got to be, what, 30 towns? I mean, it's stark and crazy what's going on. We are in Connecticut a little higher than that. Anybody out there talking by chance? Any social media platforms between Instagram and Facebook?
Brad had out, he said, great job, guys, gotta go. And then
All right.
Brennan had out, he said 430.
430. So Brad's at 430 homes in his whole county. And they're up at 430. They're ringing the bell like 4:30, and that's how bad things are. I'm sorry.
We're currently at about 4,500. We're currently at 4,500. Still, 10% of those are multifamily.
Right.
So
when I say to y'all that things are tough, but this drop in rates
Brad said should be 1,700.
should be 1,700 homes in this county. See, and he from 400 to 1,700. That's like he's at 20, less than 25% of homes. That's 25%, yeah, of homes for sale in a whole county. That's nuts. I mean, and you know, it's funny. People talk about realtors. Oh, you guys are doing so great. You know what? People have no idea. There were about 1 year of time where business was happening, where the people were running around. But the problem is there was no inventory, and people think that we made all this money, but we didn't. We were just busy running around, and most agents, really what happened was they were running around with several buyers and hoping that one of the 10 buyers they were working with went under contract. And that's what really happened. How many times you were offers, boom, no, boom, no, boom, no, boom, no. And then buyers got buyers like devastation. They have PTSD from that. But anyway, now today, okay, the rates are reaching into the fives. Which means that you home sellers, let your ears go up and be ready to rock and roll, because you've now just broken into fives. And it's very important for sellers to understand this. You need to get your home on the market, because what's going to happen is, I think, more homes are going to come on the market. And when you're one of a few, your value becomes obviously higher. When you're one of many, your home can start to fluctuate in value. And depending on the condition of your home, because as we know, when the house has more amenities and more clarity and more value to it, more buyers want that house. And the less your house has condition-wise appealing to a buyer, it's going to go down the ladder and it's going to sit longer in the market. And then the question comes down to is that something wrong with that house over there? So the rates drop, time to get your house in the market. You want to get them ready quickly, get a real estate licensed professional agent to sell your house. We would love a Team Powerhouse to be your people. But if you decide you have somebody ready, make sure your home is prepped correctly. Do it right. Get it on right. And one more thing. The market has a different twist on it. The real estate law says now on the multiple listing service, you cannot, as a realtor, put in there what the buyer's commission is. Make sure your realtors, make sure your sellers are offering the greatest commission they can ever offer to bring the greatest buyers to their houses. And make sure, because I believe and I understand correctly, as a real estate professional, the companies who list the properties, such as Keller, Coldwell, Century, all these different companies are allowed to put that information on the websites. Does that stand corrected, Eric? So on every website, we as realtors have to now go, instead of to the MLS, because they don't want it there, which is, in my opinion, silly. We now go to the branch of the companies to find out what is being offered. Now, buyers, here's where you need to pay attention. You need to make sure you are ready, because you may be paying your realtor to help you find a home if a seller is not offering a commission, which would be devastating to a seller and their property, because less people can afford to buy their house when they're coming out of pocket. That's what it is, and that's reality. All right, let's talk about the market.
Talk about the seller's advantages now. So, sellers, if you bought your home in January of 2019, the median listing price in Connecticut was $344,250.
Wow, 344, 250.
So, I mean, that's an average, you know? So you had your millions and you had your hundreds, you know?
Yes.
So the median price was $344,250. Currently, the median price in Connecticut is $552,225.
Wow.
So if you bought just 5 years ago, January of 2019, it's not specific to that means your house didn't go from 300 to 500, but could be in that area.
I'm going to say to you that many of the areas that are on the more valuable towns, I'll say the towns that have possibly higher ranked schools, which tend to be higher ranked or higher value towns in real estate. Is that fair and reasonable to say that, Eric?
Well, the local websites will tell you about the schools and stuff like that.
Correct. But those towns typically, you've seen that 300 to 500 all day long change in price. Again, you have towns all over Connecticut, no matter where you're looking, the property values are up a tremendous amount. Whatever. That's the new norm. You can't fix it. You can't change it. It's not going to change ever again. But what I can tell you is, today we just found out from Eric that the rates have just reached into the fives. Get yourself in touch with a real estate professional. Make sure you're qualified. One more thing, by the way, the buyers need to make sure they understand. And buyers, if you're listening, because I've had this conversation with many people and they've never heard this before, you need to be signed in a contract with a buyer's agent to go look at a home by law. You need to have a licensed agent with a signed buyer broker in order to go look at a home physically, and you need to be qualified to buy that home, because we as realtors are making sure no one's coming through without a pre-approval that says you can afford this house. Buyers, understand the new norm. Make sure you understand the law and make sure you're prepared, because it's going to be something that when you're fighting against other buyers to find a house, you want to make sure you have every piece of equipment. You want to make sure you're qualified and ready to go and have your agent you've picked out. You have a contract signed, otherwise you cannot get into a house. That's the law.
So check this out. So there are 2 sections of Connecticut that are in the top 20 hottest regions.
No kidding.
Absolutely hottest real estate markets in March, as of March 2024. Okay.
Are we going to be shocked by the information?
Corrections, 3 of them. So at number 13 is Hartford, West Hartford, and East Hartford. Okay. It is number 13 in the country, not in the state, in the country.
So you're saying Hartford County just hit the top 13 most hottest real estate markets in the country.
Yep.
Now, if you're a seller and you own a home in Hartford County, we'll just use many towns included in that. Go ahead.
Norwich and New London are number 14
How?
on the hottest real estate markets.
Now, we just sold a house in Norwich last week, and the market over there is bananas. And one of the biggest draws over there, again, I talk about this, is Electric Boat. Great company. what they're doing down in Norwich area with developing the downtown. Oh, by the way, I went to this great pub over there, Irish pub. We'll talk about that also. A very cool place. But anyway, yes, Norwich, great area. You got the shoreline, the seafood, the sub base. You got a lot going on in Norwich.
And number 15, so 13, 14, and 15 are all Connecticut.
No kidding.
Hottest real estate areas. Bridgeport, Stamford, Norwalk area.
So the Fairfield County real estate market, specifically now,
Coastal. That's more the bottom.
the coastal part of the Fairfield County.
Yeah,
Well, that would make a lot of sense because Fairfield County coastal has definitely always been hot.
yeah, Milford.
I wonder where New Haven County falls in place because New Haven County has been blowing up since the pandemic happened. It's been the hottest real estate market in Connecticut. I think the reason why maybe those are jumping into that
Not
category.
in the top 20.
Not anymore.
Not in the top 20.
Well, it's still a good.
I'll look to see where they are, but
I want to just tell you guys, if you own a house,
26.
26 New Haven County now.
26.
It's just dropped down.
So New Haven, Milford is 26th in the country.
That's still crazy in the whole country.
That's still
the
very
Connecticut,
hot.
but the whole point is that Connecticut right now is one of the most hottest markets in the whole country. Crazy. That is overlooking the South in Florida, Texas, California. People are moving to New England and the Northeast. It's a great time to put your house in the market. You've got to be prepared. You've got to start thinking about, do I do this now and why and where do I want to go? And how am I going to get there, right? You're going to hire a professional real estate agent to get your home in the market your home correctly, price it correctly, get yourself the most money possible, bringing the best buyers qualified to your house, right, Eric?
100%.
Secondly, you're going to go and move to where you want to be. Now, a lot of people in Connecticut have been sitting on these houses they bought. They want to downsize. And they say, well, there's no other homes on the market that are there for me to downsize to. Here's how it works. As soon as you put your house in the market, what happens is that smaller home wants to upgrade. And they go, I'm putting my house in the market. That means you're going to change the velocity of what's happening in the market. It takes one to have another one happen. You've got to have one move creates another move. One move, it creates another move. It's a domino effect. Do not say to yourself, well, I don't see a house for sale in the market. As soon as you put your house in the market, you can count on this statement right here. Homes will open up because people are downsizing and upsizing. And the amount of people coming into Connecticut are looking for your homes for sale. So get your house in the market and let's be prepared. What else, Eric?
No, I'm looking at, I'm in the 140s and 150s right now, checking to see if any locations in Connecticut are in there.
Yes.
And this is starting to get into the cooler area.
Yeah.
Not cold, but cooler.
Yeah.
And I don't mean temperature, climate. Nothing else in Connecticut. So the 5 or 6 areas in Connecticut
Yes.
are all in the very high on the hot.
How does Pennsylvania look? Can you pull up Pennsylvania for me? I'm just
What
curious.
part of Pennsylvania?
Let's go
Yeah, I can't look by state, but I can see what's
in the map maybe because my buddy Brad over there, he's on the I'm gonna say middle left side of the state if I can put it like in. He's somewhere in that middle left, Amish country actually specifically, Sinking Springs. What's the town name? Gosh dang it, Lancaster. Bango Bango. That's a little bit of the Green family. Bingo Bango. You know the Greens. You don't know the Greens thing? Your brother's got to watch the Greens.
Oh, wait. What's it called? What's the full
It's the guys with the family. They own a farm and they moved to the city. The Greens. You got just drew a blank on his name. Schnikes. Bingo Bango. That's what he says.
Oh, that it's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
That came out when I was just like kind of stopped watching cartoons.
Ah man, it's a great show. Drew loves that
Big
show.
City Green.
Big City Greens. Bingo Bango. There you go.
I
What's the boy's name? Do you remember the son's name?
don't know.
Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name. I should know it because we talk about the show. I watch it every night with Drew. Eric, what else can you share with us about the hot real estate market and you sellers out there and you agents out there who know those sellers who've been sitting on the fence? Pick the phone up, let them know that we're in the 5s. Buyers out there, you've been sitting on the fence waiting. You're in the 5s right now. Hopefully, been working on your credit. Hopefully you've stimulated your mind and body getting excited right now, and you're calling your real estate agent going, it's my time. I'm doing this because I need to. I don't want to pay rent anymore. I'm sick and tired of paying 25, 26, 27, 28, 3,000 for rent, which is nutso. Okay? Time to own. And time to own, speaking of time to own, which is a great government program that's out there, you'll learn more about that for first-time buyers. In addition to the fact that I just heard recently, Eric helped me out over here, when it comes to the new mortgage availability, if you have student loans, if you have at least $15,000 of student loans, they're actually going to give you a discount, I think, by 1.25% on your interest rate.
1 1/8.
1 1/8.
1 1/8.
Boom, blowing your mind. Guys, if you're out there, you are in the prime ballpark of 25 to 35. You haven't owned a home before, this is your time. That doesn't mean the other people out there who are older aren't ready to buy. They're your competition. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's make this happen.
So you asked about PA.
PA.
Lancaster, PA
Lancaster, PA.
is number 21 in the hot.
No kid. So, you know what, Brad and Lancaster and
And
Platinum Real Estate.
Reading, Pennsylvania,
Reading exactly who he is, yeah.
28.
No
on
kidding.
The hot chart.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So Reading, Lancaster, guys, you got a hot market out there. Things are going to explode in Pennsylvania. Guys, if you're looking to
Oh,
sell.
wow. They're on again. Allentown, Bethlehem,
Yep.
and Easton,
Yep.
along with State College, all in the very hot to like scalding.
So again, it's very important to be prepared and understand the market where you live, what is happening. Talk to a real estate professional. Don't use your social media, the news, all this BS that's telling you what's happening in the real estate market, because the problem with that is you have blinded by what's going on. You're reading social media posts on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube. That's not where you find about your real estate information. You call a licensed real estate agent who knows what's going on in the market, who can share with you knowledge, because experience matters. And if you don't know that already, make sure you say it to yourself all the time. Experience matters. It matters in how you think, how you act, and what you do in life, because you don't just go to any doctor. You go to a doctor who has experience. Is that right, Eric?
No, I like the young doctors that don't know anything.
Yeah. Guys, I might
They're
be...
easier to trick.
They're easy to treat. I don't need no stinking medicine. So what else can you think about the real estate market, Eric?
Nothing. I gave you all the data.
You covered all the juice. All right,
Pretty
guys.
much.
Got a question out there?
Richard asked about Ocala, Florida.
Oh, Richard, is that Richard Truman?
Richard Truman.
Richard Truman!
Truman.
Ocala, Florida. You know, it's funny. Florida market, as they say, is quote unquote cooling off a little bit. Is that right, Eric? Can you pull up Ocala, Florida? And I say cooling off. Florida's the hottest real estate market in the country, and it has been day over day, month over month, year over year.
Not according to this.
Not according to this, because what's happened is it was so high that right now in the market in Florida, because it's so hot there physically, and please, Richard, correct me if I'm wrong, in the summertime it tends to slow down the real estate market out there. Is that right? Because I understand from my friends out there in Florida, including yourself, typically the slower season is the summer, and then it picks up again maybe October, November, and the market goes bananas out in Florida again. Is that right?
Yeah, a bunch of the lowest, coldest locations are
Least activity.
Yeah, Louisiana and Florida,
Again, due to the heat in these areas,
and Honolulu.
Honolulu's coming off the heat on the property buyers. Is that what you're saying to me?
Deborah Meehan
Debbie Meehan. How are you, Dabs?
said, "Go David, go superstar."
Love you, Dabs. Now located in Cape Coral, Florida, relocated from Brantford, Connecticut, having an amazing life, enjoying herself as she deserves.
Right there.
And we
Cape
appreciate
Coral, Fort Myers.
Yeah,
In
Cape
the
Coral.
cold category.
As a matter of fact, Deb picked up a beautiful condo. She got a steal on it. I won't tell everybody what she paid for it, but she stole that property because the market softened up a little bit. That's West Coast. Fort Myers, Cape Coral. We had a great realtor referral down there too for you. Naples, Florida. So the West Coast and the South is softened up a little bit because of the time of year. So a good time to buy in Florida is now, where the prices are a little bit lower than they used to be. Because come time, I'm going to say October, November, that market goes right back up. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening around you in the state of Connecticut, in Florida, Pennsylvania. Guys, the real estate market is hot. The rates have just come down. We haven't seen this happen for a while. You've been begging for it. Make sure to be prepared for it. Call us up. Allow our team to work for you. Eric, many people out there just saw we got an award, or I wouldn't call it an award, but a recognition from our office top team in the 2024 right now, which is a compliment to our team. I hear a little static. Is
Year
that
to date.
static? Is that your
No, that's my computer
Okay.
cooling down.
It's cooling. That's a lot. Oh, cool.
It's the fan.
So 2024 year to date, Team Powerhouse rocking and rolling. I'm so proud of you guys. Our team is destroying and making people happy. We're just completely attentive to you and making sure that you have everything you want and need. Eric,
Well, I hope your Siri doesn't kick in next week.
I know.
Podcast, because it did in the office earlier.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Siri's right.
It's so weird.
Siri's always listening.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I have to be careful with Siri because Siri's right in front of Thane on the Instagram page.
Yeah.
All right, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We have, of course, TikTok with over 35,000 followers and viewers. Pretty crazy. Our presence on social media is growing and growing, and we appreciate you sharing our information, sharing the podcast, sharing. I'm hoping that when you guys watch this show, you're learning, you're enjoying, and it's something that becomes of interest. Share this information, share our shows, like us, converse with us, let us know what you're thinking. Next week is going to be interesting conversation about some debatable issues that Eric and I were going to go over with you. It's going to be a great show. A lot of fun, very interactive. Make sure you watch it. Have you ever and did you know? Now we're going to go to the next part of the show where we give out a free tumbler. And let's see who our lucky winner is going to be. Please remember, if you want to win a tumbler, to definitely let us know so we can put you on the spinning wheel. All right, then, let's spin her up.
You guys can't hear.
We can't hear, but they can see. I hear a little.
Here, you can. Isabel, 809 off TikTok.
Isabel, 809 on TikTok. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. One of the 35,000 watching. Isn't that crazy? The amount of viewership. You know, people say to me, how many people are watching your show at the same time? I don't know how to answer that question because we really can't see it.
Right.
We do watch the replays on like maybe Facebook or Instagram, whatever have you. But there's thousands and thousands of people that are watching our show all over the country and all over the world, which is amazing. It's so cool. By the way, we've had some recent news on the Olympics. We've got an amazing job going on in America. Tremendous amount of gold medals. Congratulations to all of our people who competed. And America's strong. All right, everybody, have a wonderful evening. We will see you next week. Thanks so much for being a part of our show.